Hey, BarkAID people, how is it going out there? I just wanted to get back in touch with you guys about the BarkAID Music Festival. So it's lumen teeny lit up, and I am so lit up about it. Some things have changed. Once you think it's going in one direction, it ends up in another direction. But that's how you just got to roll with it. Tai Chi, yin and the yang, right? So we had to move it back to Harlansdale Park in the heart of Franklin, Tennessee, for a couple of reasons. So a lot of you, I told you I was going to do it down in Columbia, Tennessee, where I now reside. I used to live in Franklin. We moved and built a house down in Columbia. So I just thought I was going to make a footprint down in Columbia with the festival. At first, it sounded pretty good, but there's some things that, I just didn't get a chance to see when I first went down there. And it's not a huge issue, but there's no alcohol sales at the parks. They don't allow you to sell alcohol. So this is a festival. It's a music festival. It's a nonprofit. It's for donations and generating income. So I thought that alcohol sales was fairly important. And the more people that I talk to about it, they're all saying the same thing. Hey, man, I'd like to have a beer. Most people want to have a beer while they're watching the shows, the music and the entertainment. So I moved it back to Franklin, and there's a couple of reasons why I'm glad I did it. And alcohol is not the main issue at all. It's not like I want to drink during the event, but it's got 3 dog parks, small, medium, and large dogs, and it's just a little cute little walking distance from the main event. So, we could do a lot of things with the walk, decorate it for the animals and stuff and for the people, the owners and stuff like that. So there's 3 dog parks, and if you get a chance, go on Google Sites and look up the park of Harlansdale Park, I believe it, in Franklin, Tennessee, Harlansdale, Harlinsdale Park. Check it out. You'll see that it's just so nostalgic. It's like I said, it's in the heart of Franklin. There's some neat things about it, and it'll resonate extremely well. And I hope we outgrow the space at some point. But so we got a lot of things that are going on. And I tell you what, this has been one of the most amazing learning lessons because, a lot of the musicians that are going to be playing there, we have 8 committed groups right now. 8, which is great because it's a year away, and there's a lot of things that are going to happen in between time. So there's a lot of things that have happened, those little baby steps and those little victories that we talked about in previous podcasts about not being able to see the forest for the trees or whatever. But, there are a lot of little steps that have been accomplished that make the bigger picture look even more attainable. So I was talking to some of the musicians, especially Jared, and he's like, I should just show up to my events. I don't really think about all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And it's amazing because not only do I have to fill out an application, then you've got to get event insurance to cover, cover your butt, $1 million policy for anybody who might fall down or some other crazy stuff like that. You got to get insurance for the alcohol. The event going to have way over 200 people in it, so you got to get a permit for large crowd. There's going to be tents and other things, so I got to get a fire permit. There's a water permit. There's an electric permit. There's about a permit for about everything that you could imagine that they're going to nickel and dime you for whatever you're going to do. So there's a lot involved in a lot of baby steps. So it's a good thing that's about a year away. So the goal is at 6 months, everything needs to be in order. So a lot of good things are in order, and I'm happy to announce that we have two official sponsors that are involved, that are part of this. And you may not know, and I'm sure I've mentioned it at some point, that the BarkAID Music Festival has kind of changed directions a little bit. Of course, it's about animals and about homeless animals and stuff like that, but BarkAID really has gotten involved in the veteran world. And I'm very proud about that because I didn't serve. So I feel good about being able to help them out in any way I can, as well as taking care of what BarkAID's mission was from the very beginning. And if you don't know that, you can go onto our website, and it's clear that our main purpose and goal is to educate people and bring them aware of what's happening with homeless animals in their community. And so not only that, but, we're adding to that the veteran world and letting people know what's going on with that as well. So there's 3 amazing benefactors, and I could not have drawn this up any better. It just kind of fell together, just kind of came together. So the first one is Project Canine Hero. And I don't know if you guys need to look it up and read Jason Johnson's story. I'm just going to gloss over it because I could never do it justice. And I'm going to have a podcast with him here soon, I hope, so that he can tell his story to you guys and why it's such an important thing for him. But he was a dog handler in the military for several years, 12, 14 years. Then in the private sector, as far as like SWAT and police, a dog handler. And then Blackwater, if you ever heard of those group. And CIA and TSA, a dog handler. But back in 2006, I do believe he realized that once these service dogs, these military dogs, were unable to perform their job either through age or injury, et cetera, the U.S. government just discarded them, got rid of them. And so he got upset about that, realized, hey, that dog served this government just like I did, so I wouldn't want to be discarded. So he started Project Canine Hero, and he takes these dogs. You got to think about these dogs. These dogs are trained to do a specific job, whether or not they're out there to go hunt for a bomb or they're out there to attack you. They're the first ones in the door. So they have some issues too, PTSD, however you want to go about it. So he works with them about that, saves them, takes care of them, and pays their medical bills for the rest of their life. So very happy to be partnering with Project Canine Hero. And the other one I'm very excited about because this has a lot to do with dogs that are going to be put down, that are on death row, that are in kill shelters. It's called Working Dogs for Vets. They're out of Lewisburg, Tennessee. I'm so glad I stumbled across them because I wanted to make sure that I was involved with somehow dogs that are in the shelters and how can we save them. So this group actually takes dogs from the kill shelters, and trains them to be service dogs for veterans. So not only is it a win-win, we're taking dogs out of the kill shelter, saving their life, training them to be a service dog for veterans. You can't make that up. That's fantastic. And the third one that we're working with, so exciting because it has all to do with music and the vets, is the Creative Vets. If you guys ever get a chance, go online, find out, look at their story. Creative Vets. I'm not going to do it justice, but I'm going to gloss over it for you. A group of vets found a way to tell their story as therapy through song. So they will bring a vet together with a songwriter or a musician, whatever, and they will put a song together based on of his story. And it allows, it's a beautiful thing. The guy that created it was able to get through his problems by putting it down in song. And so instead of having to tell the story and get choked up about it every time someone asks about it, he just hands them a CD and say, here's my story. It's beautiful. So those are the three benefactors of this BarkAID Music Festival, and I'm excited because it's not only veteran dogs, dogs for vets, and music for vets. It's a beautiful thing. It's a great thing for BarkAID, and I love the fact that we're red, white, and blue is like it was meant to be ever since we created this in 2010. Amazing. So, talking about our sponsors, and two guys that jumped on board right away. One specifically, and I think a lot of it has to do, you think about this, it's one thing to go after something cold. That's why, I mean, in sales, one of the last things that we want to do as salespeople is go cold calling, right? You want to have some sort of backdoor entry. You want to have some sort of connection with someone so that they, open the door faster. Hey, you know this guy, so hey, man, I trust you already. So a lot of that has happened because of the musicians that we have already on board with us. A lot of them have done a lot of work for vets. They've been over to the Middle East and they've played for the troops. Jared Weeks specifically, he's getting ready to go to Japan in a few months, and with Saving Abel and sing for the troops. So a lot of that stuff. So this guy that created Heroes Vodka, Travis McVeigh, is a veteran. And so he's a great guy, but he knows all of those people. So the connection was just easily made. And so Heroes Vodka and the proceeds from that sale of that company and that alcohol go to help veterans. And his connection with the largest alcohol distributor in Tennessee, Lipman Brothers, they love dogs and they're big veteran supporters. So that's one thing I really do enjoy about living here in Middle Tennessee, is the strong military presence. I mean, the support, as I guess I should say. I mean, there's a presence here. There's Fort Campbell's not far away from here. I think it's in Clarksville. Did I get that right? I don't know. Look it up. There's some military base really close by. And so, but very strong military support, and especially for the veterans around here. And because of that connection and my love for the veterans, I've been connected with some amazing people. And one of them is Alex Jimenez. So, who is this? This is the podcast room that he so graciously allows me to use and make it the BarkAID Lomentini podcast room when I have the opportunity. But I have to tell you a funny story. So I was excited to have an interview with him and do a pod with him last week. So he's gracious. He's very busy. He gave me some time out of his schedule. And we're doing the podcast and we're getting things set up. We're talking off air. He goes, "Hey, buddy, do you make sure the mics are on?" And I'm like, yeah, man, the mics are on. We're good. And so we get through a 35-minute podcast, and it is fantastic. Great questions, great answers. Learned a lot about him that I had never known. Shared some personal stuff, and then I get home. He's done. I'm done. I unplug everything, get back to my office, plug it into the computer so I can do some editing. And it's a silent movie. I forgot to turn the mics on. So I'm looking at the mic thing right now. I have it on. I'm not the first to do that, but, it's frustrating. But we're going to redo that podcast this Friday morning for y'all to listen to. And you guys got to get a chance to listen to Alex and his story and where he's at. He's in the mortgage business, but he's a big veteran supporter as well. And so, yeah, I just continue to learn from him, and he's just got a great presence about himself. You guys are going to enjoy that, what he has to say on Friday. But as far as back to the BarkAID Music Festival and where we are right now. So right now where we are is, so going back to what I was saying as far as having that soft approach and getting sponsors and getting other bands and stuff like that, having laid the groundwork with those small little victories that I had mentioned to y'all before, those are what's opening the door to other musicians and other sponsorships, because then they look at it and say, "Oh, Heroes Vodka's involved. Oh, Lippman Brothers. Well, any liquor store in this area knows who Lippman Brothers is because they provide all the liquor." So it's just one of those things that I'm very blessed and very happy to say that they are on board with the BarkAID Music Festival and help it grow throughout the years. So my next big hurdle is the 5K, because we want to do a 5K kickoff the Saturday morning. Now, I'm thinking back in Kansas, there was a shoe company, a shoe store that pretty much provided all the 5K structure, setting it up, doing the timing, doing the route, doing the bibs, doing the website, doing the sign up, all of that. And I'm having a hard time here in this area trying to find that type of company. So if any of you all out there know who I need to be talking to, please let me know. But we'll figure it out, as we always do. So that's the latest update, my friends, on the BarkAID Music Festival. It's coming. It's less than a year, and I love the fact that it's October 14th and 15th. And I'm just going to cross my fingers because this just a week or so ago, October 14th and 15th, the weather was beautiful. Beautiful. So we're going to hope that that same thing holds true a year from now, 2023. Can you believe that? So today is November 8th. It's pretty crazy out there. It's a lot of voting going on, a lot of changes happening. So be careful. We all love you. BarkAID out.